Welcome to AnnexedDinnerTable Reviews. I'm Cassandra.
And I'm Devin.
And today we're going to be looking at studies in sorcery. Studies in sorcery is going to have you digging through graves, looking for different ingredients that will help you master these projects for school that you find here in the marketplace. You can sell your items to buy the projects, to buy other items that will help you, and it's going to be fairly quick. You play 16 total rounds, 4 semesters with 4 different moon phases in each semester. So this game was super quick to learn, 10 minutes to read the instructions. We were up and playing within 30 minutes, like super easy, right?
Yeah, and really it's easy to teach people because the reference card is actually so informative. It tells you exactly what you do step by step. So one brief explanation and you're off and playing.
Yeah, and they also have the math type card, which tells you how many of each cards have different bonuses and different types. So it tells you that there are like 12 mushrooms, so you can see what your chances of when you go digging to find those things. So yeah, great reference cards.
Yeah, totally.
But I did really enjoy it, even though it was so simple to learn. There was a lot of hidden depth in here with just which project cards do you pick up, because they just have such a variety of abilities that you gain. Or do you gain them immediately? Do you get them every semester, but only on certain moons? And they really stack.
Yeah, and I think there's something you have to really pay attention when you're buying these projects from the market, because some of them might not even be relevant besides their victory point scoring at the end, because you might have gone through so many semesters that phase of the moon might not pop up again. So you really have to pay attention when you're digging into the market and buying these projects, because the bonuses can either really help you, not help you at all, or just be kind of just bonus points at the end.
Yeah, and because they do occasionally give you those like one-time bonuses. This one's draw 4 cards. Well, that might be really good early game to get you a nice hand. But there's some that are like, commit 3 things right now. And that could be useful to not play that last card. Keep it in your hand until, end game. And then you go, yes, I'm going to complete that, and then I get extra time to commit late game, where you are having these cards that have more items, and you can only commit 2 things per turn normally unless you use your action. And so it's like, that's a really powerful card late game, but it comes up in the first semester. So it's like, or the first year, 100 level course.
Yeah, and there's a real balance with the items being both currency and the ingredients for these spells. So you kind of have to balance, I need to buy something, but I also need these ingredients. And so it's really having to shift around and think your way through, okay, I need to keep these cards set aside because I need these for my projects, but I really need to get as much money as I can so I can buy, vials or candles or other project files.
Yeah, and the mechanism where you start with these 2 piles, and then every single time you dig, you look through them, and if you don't want them, you add another card. So you're looking for mushrooms, and you're like, got a good chance of collecting mushrooms, and there isn't one in the first pile. There isn't one in the second pile. You're just making it so that your other opponents are able to get more cards, which is a higher likelihood that they will find what they need, even though you still might not. So it's a balance of like, do I take the one that has 5 cards, even though I don't need that many cards or any of these to finish my projects, but I don't want anyone else to have that many cards either. So there is this balance there that's just like, What?
Yeah, for sure.
And then they did have a variety of these thesis cards, which I really liked, and they were pretty varied of what you were looking for. You had some higher like point ones that were like, you have to get at least 2 of everything. So you're fighting to make sure that you're able to complete those last 300 level projects that you can't start until semester 3. Or like one of them was you couldn't finish more than 200 level projects. And so you do have this balance of, I need to buy a lot of things early game because we're going to be a flood of these 200 level projects that you can't really buy.
Yeah, and the 200 level, like the level 2, tier 2 projects are on the board for the entire game. So you start the first, semester with level 2s on there, and they carry forward through every single semester. So there's a plethora of level 2 cards to go through, and you just can't do more than 2.
Yeah, and so it does become really challenging in that way. And then you get towards that like last semester and you're like, I have so many project cards left. What is the best way to use my resources? Is there a way for me to complete everything? Is there not? I feel like that's always my answer. I have to choose. But which is it? I'm needing to dig because I don't have my resources. You just have this drawn in every direction trying to think about the next move. And then you have some of the projects that rely on like how many sorcery projects your neighbors complete. So you're looking at that going, do my neighbors have any sorcery projects complete? Do they look like they're going towards sorcery? And that comes down to those thesis cards again. Some are like, you're going for sorcery. You need 3 or more sorcery projects. And some are like, don't have any. So you've got this like balance of really good variety here, as well as just in-depth gameplay at a really quick learning pace, which is awesome because no one wants to spend 5 hours learning a game, especially one that ultimately only takes 30 to 45 minutes to play.
Yeah, and well, that's the other thing is it's really quick to learn, and it does occupy a sizable amount of time. So if you're on the go and you have to occupy 45 minutes, it takes less than 15 minutes to learn to play the game, and you can play the game in 30 minutes. So it will, if you're like waiting for a doctor's appointment or something like that, you can whip this out and play really quickly and not have to worry about, I don't know, playing on your phone too much or Facebooking or whatever.
Well, and because they are only lasting 30 minutes, they also had this really cool variant where you kind of make it like phase 10, where you're reaching these like missions and stuff. So you could make this game not only last the 30 minutes, but you could make it last all night, 5-6 hours playing missions and seeing if you can do it. Plus the solo mode, like, has a lot packed in here. Yeah, definitely really recommend this one for that really nice, simple, easy to learn with some nice complex strategy on top. If you like this video, hit that button and don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell icon to get notifications of our newest videos.